All right, oh, what's on the other side of this door? I'm not even playing right now. This is not even planned. I'm here with my friend Steve DeHont, and he's built a multi-million-dollar landscape operation, which we're about to show you and do a tour with what he says is okay to show. Some stuff he might not be able to show. But, and this wasn't even planned. We're actually at a shop right now. He's a very good friend of mine. We just got lunch. My friend Eric Reno, the roofer, introduced me to him, and now we've since become very good friends. And Steve is a very humble guy. And I'm like, dude, we have to do a tour of this right now to show you what happens. Steve, what's up?
What's happening? Thanks for coming.
Real quick before we get started, you got crushed in '09 and built this business with blood, sweat, and tears to what it is today.
I did. I got crushed. I got crushed worse than I could ever get crushed. But with the Lord and blessing me and continuing, I'm still here, still doing it. So it's a blessing to be here. It's a blessing to have all these people here. And this is our home. This is where we would call home.
So we're about to show you, like the whole shebang. You're going to see equipment and all types of cool stuff. But this is the administrative side, the administrative pillar that runs the business. This
is the most critical part of the business is inside here, because this is communication. This is everything. So the follow-up that we have with Deanna and Aaron runs sales, but Deanna is his daughter. We have Dina, who actually runs the business. She's my partner. I say that because she's the integrator, there's no doubt. Amanda, she's our office manager. She's fantastic. But they are the ones that really help facilitate a project, communicate when a project's going to go a little bit longer, or if something happens on a project, they go out and get the permits and do all these things to fill this whole board up. And then this board gets filled, so they're constantly calling and emailing and contacting to make sure that we arrive at the time that we set forth, and then we have dates on these tags. Well, some of it's a little old school, but we find it works that everybody can see it, so they can go, hey, here's my color code. I'm green. This one is Cam's pink. Cam's doing really well, but they can kind of see where their projects go when the season starts.
These are projects right here.
Correct.
And tell your patios like to the scope of.
Yeah, this is the entranceway of Brickworks. So that actually is a company out of Australia, and what we do is we do a nice plot plan here for them. So we would call this a working drawing, and then they're also going to see that real fancy, over the top, the colors and everything selected, so they can get a real good visual
software program
through the software program.
You have a whole nother office where there's a designer. I've been in it, designing phenomenal landscapes.
Yes, it's important for people to see. I think a big thing with this business is you can't just operate off of that Univision pretty project. You need a shop drawing. You need your guys to be able to go, all right, look at this is 28 feet. Well, I'm going to make this walk 6 feet. I'm going to pull this walk 4 feet from the actual structure. So to bend that radius to be 4 feet and then keep this at 6 feet all the way down, that's just not going to happen on a Univision program, or it's not as easy when you always have a point of reference. So this is the real drawing that it will get built from. The other stuff is just more of a visual for our homeowners if they haven't gotten that visual from being in our showroom.
Now, you built all types of beautiful outdoor luxury living spaces and patios and projects with fire pits and seating areas, and you make dreams come true for people. But I'm also going to put a link in the description below to an interview I did with him on the podcast where he talks about how you had to rebuild a patio over and over and over.
Oh, yeah.
One day back in the day.
Yeah, I had to. Are you talking about the retaining wall or the patio?
That one that kept failing.
Yeah, the retaining wall. That was Hamilton residence, and we built that in 2011. Same year I got crushed. The wall continued to fall. The first time it fell is because we put the grid in backwards, so it didn't have any strength. The second time it fell, it was just gaining so much water that we didn't have enough water diverters. So essentially the hydrostatic pressure built up through the wall, and the wall fell over again. So again, we had to rebuild it again. And building a wall the first time is difficult, but unbuilding and rebuilding it is absolutely astronomical.
And you never walked away?
I did not walk away, no, absolutely not. Still, it's in on 25 in Van Dyke. It's still standing to this day beautifully, and it never failed again.
He says, go look at it. Well, you wanted to show this bathroom?
Yeah, just little detail stuff we like to do. PMS. Yep. And then there's that urine chart.
Paver maintenance specialist.
I do a urine chart.
A urine chart in your bathroom?
Well, it's important to make sure people are hydrated, and most people don't pay attention.
Oh, yeah. That's actually smart.
Yeah, just for people to...
I have a pH test that you can put on the tongue. Oh, now this.
Just so it keeps it...
This is your showroom.
This is our showroom. Wow, we got some nice books. These are all new books. Haven't seen them. They literally just must been celebrating 100 years. That just came out. Wow, very, very cool. I've been gone for a week. Coffee station here. So in the morning, let me turn the lights on real quick, but coffee station is here. This is a critical thing for us. We go through roughly, I would say at least 10 pounds of coffee a day.
Wow.
We also, which I think is pretty cool, and since we are having fun having a video, this got installed before I left, and they put this alarm on it because they knew kids would play with it or me. So this is a real defibrillator that we could save someone's life no matter what, if their heart stops. And it's smart enough to know not to shock somebody if they are in cardiac arrest.
Defibrillator?
Yes, defibrillator, correct. Here's the kitchen. Obviously it's a little dirty, but because we're gonna be ripping this whole showroom out again next week. So we're kind of moving things in here, but this is where the employees just eat and relax, do whatever they need to do. It's usually a really nice space, but as I said, we're gonna have to start moving because we're blowing this whole part of the showroom up. Even the coffee maker area will all be new in the next couple weeks. All of this is gone. All that is gone. That's gonna be gone. Let me plug this in too. So we got a lot of construction. This will be gone. This is gone.
Wow.
All of this brick will be gone. This bar will be gone. All the way, this whole arrow, or I should say row, this is gone. Great product, just not practical for people to see and actually use. We don't know if we're gonna keep this area, but pretty much all of this will be gone. I don't know exactly what the plan will be on this, but Dwayne has a plan, so that'll be neat. This is what we're really focused on.
So you took the inside of a warehouse and turned it into a showroom that looks like outdoors but indoors.
Yeah, the building right next door is identical. So they're both the same building, left and right, same 9,000 square feet in the back and 900 in the front. So literally there are these two buildings to the one next to it is the same building, and you'll see inside there it looks a lot different. It looks like it's shop. So yeah, this is a house we put inside because we wanted people to see an actual home, and get this big visual. It's just a fake house, but I mean, everything does function. So when we do our role playing, we can open and close the door.
Let's see. Wow. This is nothing. You can just step down in here.
You just step down in there. We use it for storage.
So they thought you were crazy when you were, let's spend all this money and build literally a real front door and siding and everything to make it look like a real house.
This door was like $7 grand. I was so upset. This door is so funny because I'm like, no, I'm not putting that door in. My house has like a $300 door, and they're like, you've come this far. It's like, yeah. So I ended up putting the damn door in, which I did not want to do.
Yeah.
So in the showroom, part of this too is we want people to get a real feel of what their product is going to look like, not by 2 or 3 brick. And when you really look at any of these brick, not one looks the same. So if you don't see a large area, there's a good chance you might get what you don't want. And that's what we don't want. We don't want to build something and you go, I didn't know it was going to look like that. We want you to know exactly what it's going to look like live here in our showroom. that's part of the reason we did this, or why I wanted to do this. Back here, this is all of this has been redone like 4 or 5 times.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it just keeps going. This, we actually blew this up on accident. I didn't build it. Anything we were gonna practice, we practice here, so the actual back wall fell out. So we have to rebuild the back wall, and then we're gonna put, I burned the pump out on this thing all the time too, because I wasn't keeping it full enough. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna swap out this older picture, great picture, but we're gonna do something, you know, a little more recent that is here. Look a little bit different. This gives a good idea. I'll turn the lights on here.
Man, he's got trees in here.
Yeah, we want to make it look and feel.
Oh, bro, look at this.
The next thing we need to do is audio. Sound guy is
Oh, you're gonna have surround sound?
Yeah,
That
so we
sounds
want
like nature?
crickets and things like that in here, yes.
Oh my gosh. Crickets and like...
So back here, this is that Fent company.
Dude, Greg Woodstock, the pond guy at Aquascape.
Yeah.
When you go to his showroom,
He's on Mound, right? Or are you talking?
He's in Illinois.
Okay, I'm thinking of a pond guy that's right on Mound, sorry.
Puts ponds or
Yes,
something?
yes.
Yeah, so he's the Aquascape guy.
Okay.
So when you go to the actual Aquascape place and they have like an indoor showroom, they'll have, because it's Aquascape ponds, they'll have like an actual pond inside with turtles swimming around and koi fish, and you're like, what?
It's awesome.
So the customers, like...
How can you explain that without showing it?
Oh!
Right? How do I explain the koi? How do I explain what a patio is going to feel? Hey, what does 350, 400 square feet look like? It looks like this.
Dude, that pergola. That's a pergola, right?
Yeah. That's all fully custom pergola. We actually made the book. We did one of these in collaboration with Supreme Deck. Really great company. I've been working with them for 15 years, just recommending them. And one of the gentleman, I'm not going to say his name, but he's in the book, the Fent book, twice. They built the same thing on his bar. We obviously built the bar. We put in all the footings and we put the posts in, and then they were able to do this detail woodwork. We're not carpenters, so we just give that work to Supreme Deck. They do a really good job. Yeah, this is like 10 years old. It's beautiful.
Yeah, this is really nice. It's legit. And these are all the samples for the customers to check out, right?
Correct. If they want to take some home, they can. You know, we built these little racks here so they can take them home. But again, the hardest part with doing that is if you look at any of these, not one looks the same. So it's like, yeah, you can take this one, but it doesn't look like that. Not one brick.
Because there's a natural variation?
Correct. And most of it's being hand blended. You don't want a machine look. In my opinion, somebody that really is skilled, I know a skilled guy, even if they know how to set a pattern, can I start seeing the 12, 18, 16 brick, or whatever it may be, it's the blending of grabbing from 4 or 5 different pallets.
So I can see what you're talking about looking at this, even this.
Yes.
Because there's a natural variation when all put together. It looks very nice.
We're grabbing from light to dark. So we're setting those pallets out, and then we're gonna grab from each one, so you get these blends that don't look like you laid one. You've ever seen a project where it's really dark on this side and then it goes all the light and then it goes to a different color? It's because they're just pulling from one pallet because they don't want to open all the pallets.
When we did the floors in my basement, we laid out the boxes, and then we created, we took one from each and we created unique stacks so we could make the knots, because we noticed we started laying it and all the knots were here and then it was no knots.
No knots.
So we really know we need to...
Yep.
Okay.
Same thing here. So you got to do that with everything, in my opinion. Even like a product like this, which these are now becoming my favorite from Oaks. This is their Nueva slab. That's 6 square feet per piece. It's 2 foot by 3 foot. So you're gonna have less sand joint maintenance on something like this, because a lot of times people will say, well, I got, weeds or moss. You're gonna have a lot less of that. And we didn't put sand in these on perfect. We did it on purpose because we know that usually products are gonna stay for a year or two and then we get rid of them, because we're constantly updating. And when you put the sand in, then it makes it a lot more difficult to get out. Yeah. So that's probably going to go this year as well. That was not a big seller, but from what I see, we leave it stained like that because we want people to see that's going to stain. It's going to stain outside. If it stains inside, it's going to stain outside.
Like rust from a metal chair.
Correct. Leaf stains, anything lighter in that realm, especially that light, is going to stain. Just about anything's going to stain that.
So it looks sweet when you first put it in.
Yeah, but the maintenance and aftercare are huge.
That is a huge thing because some people like very light colors and everything.
We do them. We do light colors. We're known for the light. Like this one here. This is a great example. People are like, why would you put these caps
1 second.
in?
Like this one here, what?
Like this one here, these light caps. We show them like this because this is what they're gonna look like. I can pop these caps off and make them look brand new, but they're getting stained inside here. So they're just gonna require more care, more cleaning. Doesn't make it bad. Some people like to clean their stuff. And quite honestly, I mean, I'm cleaning my pavers twice a year. And that's just because, you know, I gotta have things a certain way. I like them to be a certain way, but
power wash, or do you spray sodium hypochlorite?
I just power wash them. I take it home for the weekend, and me and my daughter just go nuts and power wash, and then do stuff like that. But I like the light colors. They're just a little bit more difficult to clean. So if you know in your head that you're not going to be out there doing that, and you don't want to pay somebody to do that, then I would go with a darker color or darker tone.
See, man, you're a true practitioner, and you have a vision and you go for it. All right, what's on the other side of this door?
So here we're outside. This is between our two buildings. This is where we've functioned for, now it's 12 years, and it's been a struggle. We already have a lot of equipment at our new facility, but trying to operate and keep accurate inventories along with all this equipment, I mean, we're missing a lot of equipment, and a lot of trucks are at our other facility. It was very difficult to operate over here. So finally took the leap to get a larger yard. Essentially, we're operating out of 1 acre, but 20,000 square feet of it is buildings. So we've been able to run a tight organization, but at this point, this is why we realized, hey, we need to move these trucks, move all this stuff out of here, and essentially make this place just be a facility for repair and customers in a showroom, and operate out of another area, because we're throwing so much of our inventory out because we're out of room. So there's a lot of things that we're just going to get rid of because we're out of room.
Hey man, this dump truck is incredible, bro. Look at this thing.
Yeah, we got two of them. So that's our we got this white one, which is a beautiful truck, Allison transmission, really a great truck. And I liked it so much with Volvo. I'm a big fan of Volvo, and I'm a big fan of keeping your trucks the same, so you can buy the parts and things like that up front, so you have these things that you know, like if your mechanic knows that you're going to have an issue with something, why wouldn't you rather just have the part, so that way when it goes down we can fix it. So that's part of it, is we have two Volvos that are the same. This is the only odd man out, is the Ford. And the only reason we don't have Ford any longer is because the sister truck, one VIN number away, burnt on fire. So I let this truck sit for a year. And then finally one of my guys is like, I want to drive it. Yeah, and I was like, as long as you're, because I went out and bought all new trucks. This truck had sat, and he said, yeah, I'm comfortable driving it and I want to drive it. So that's the only reason we have one Ford left here.
Nice.
That's the only reason. But yeah, trailers into Corn Pros, which are really cool trailers. Those are horse trailers, and that allows us to be able to carry more equipment and heavier equipment without having to worry about, you know, your trailers collapsing, because we can pretty much guarantee that one of those trailers like that are going to get about a year out of us, and then we destroy them. They're no joke. They can't handle what we're doing to them. So those trailers are brand new.
Hey, wait, look, I want to see this. A 4500 HD, bro. Wow, dude, that thing is a beast.
When you see this truck in the other building in red,
yeah,
it's gorgeous. The red, we have one odd man out. It came with the red trailer, So really, the black trailer is at the other facility as well, and the red triaxle is at the other facility, but they look identical. It's just not lettered. These are what I'm talking about. I got a bunch of these at the other place. This one was in an accident. Somebody actually hit it and totaled their car. Wasn't our fault. A school bus, and that's all it did to our trailer.
Wow. So
a school bus hit this thing. It's solid steel, and then 12 inches on center from front to bottom. So you can put, essentially this is a utility trailer that you have privacy with.
how many employees total when you guys are running max?
60.
60?
60 when we're running max.
Man. I remember I was here and you got a new dingo and I jumped on it and I rode it around.
Yeah, that was the 1000.
TX 1000,
TX
right?
1000.
Man,
Since
that thing's so versatile.
Since I gave you that one, I went on this dingo kick. That's our plywood. So we do all of our projects. I know that's important. We do all of our projects with micro equipment. The reason we use our micro equipment is we don't want to damage people's yards. So we use our micro equipment over these pieces of plywood. So when we enter in back and forth, we're doing it with power wheelbarrow as opposed to a machine. So we're not trashing your place.
So you load everything into the power wheelbarrow then?
With the skid steer, correct.
And then you go on the boards, so you're being very careful on people's properties.
Correct. Property, we want to leave the property, make it look like it was airdropped. Because that's a big thing too. You're on
the patio was airdropped.
Well, you want to make sure.
You don't want signs of.
And it's somebody's property, so this is personal to them. So the way I treat their property is a direct reflection, I believe, in the experience that they're going to have with the company they're working with. If I'm showing extra care and my team's showing extra care, they already understand why we're going to be a little bit more money, but we want to make sure we're not trying to create a whole nother job for you when we're done, for you to have to go hire a bunch of people to fix a bunch of things that we broke because we're not.
And I look at your work on Instagram, the completed work, it literally looks like AI. That's the way I describe it. Everything, it looks like your guys go around with their fingertips, bro, to make sure everything is so precise
and we still
clean.
miss things. That's the thing, is we know we're not perfect, but our aim is to be as perfect as we can be and give the client the best experience possible.
All right, Steve DeHunt, let's go inside of building number 2.
Building number 2, that's our drainage too. That's important as well.
Oh, the drainage.
Drainage, if you notice, that's a hard white pipe.
Yeah.
And with the holes in those, a lot of guys will use the perforated corrugated when they're doing drainage systems in the backyard. Myself personally, I think a bigger lawnmower, and you have a lawn care guy who doesn't care, they're gonna destroy that. So with those pipe in particular, it's a lot harder to crush a pipe like that, especially when we're making straight runs. I'm not going to tell you we don't always use, we always try to use that pipe when we can, but it's always going to be your best solution, and it's going to last a lot longer, and you could do different things like fish it out if you needed to.
All right, cool.
I love. Got to get some lighting in there. It's pretty dark compared to being out here. Get some lights on. So they're working on equipment right now. Got this place at like 70 degrees, I would say.
It's warm in here.
This is, I got the 2000. Look at this thing.
What?
And then this is the 1300. Both of them have telescopic booms, so you can actually shoot them out. The 2000 is a pretty unique piece of equipment because it lifts about as much as a skid steer. We use this on specialty projects when we're setting some bigger walls, things like that, but this is too big of a skid steer to be driving in somebody's backyard. And then this is the baby version of it, the 1300, again, telescopic boom. So when we put on our connectors, we can go a little bit further, especially when we're laying pavers with our Unilift. We can boom it out another 3 feet, which on a radius, that's pretty good. You'll get a lot more done doing that.
Nice.
I don't even,
Dude, that thing's huge.
isn't that right? This is huge.
Let me stand on it. Here, take me real quick.
I wonder how many,
on it.
how many hours are on it. That's what I'd like to know.
It's like a straight up skid steer that you stand on.
Yeah, look at the chain on that. I bet you that thing doesn't even have 100 hours on it, because this has. It's got 105 hours on it. So it's specialty stuff, but you don't need it. This one's got 72 hours.
Nice.
Yeah, 70. So we don't use it a lot, but when we need it, it works out really, really well. Not a lot of. I did a lot more stuff. That's all our compaction equipment.
Yeah.
Really big fan of Bartell. They've done a really great job. Bartell Global. They are an offshoot of Weber, and Weber's my favorite compactor. Anything you see in blue is a Weber or a Bartell, and that's what we're really starting to move towards, is these larger plate compactors. These ones are decent, don't get me wrong, but these ones just hit harder. They're a shallower deal, and if you notice, really easy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, one guy can just roll it down the truck and let it happen. They have skid plates on them as well. So if you want a neoprene plate, so you can hit a paver without using one of these roller packers, which I really like the roller packers. I think these are great for your larger format paver, because you can't take one of these plate compactors, beat on that, because they'll break. They're too fragile. So these are perfect, these roller packers. Again, big packers. Those are huge, in order to get your 94-95% proctor, which is important. You can over compact, so we want to be able to read and get to the proper compaction with all of our equipment, because that's what fails, is if you don't compact properly. And I know the other one's got to be over here somewhere. Our big blue R7 from Weber, absolutely, hands down, that's the best compactor in the game. If you don't own one of those and you're in the hardscape business, I suggest you do, because it's fantastic. That machine is the best machine I think I've ever used, the CR7. Not that the other ones aren't great, but once you use that, that's like the Mercedes of compactors.
All right.
This is a great yard machine, because no matter what comes through, this thing lifts 6,200 pounds at 100% peak. Absolutely love this. We also recycle our material with this, with MB. So part of the thing that we do here is we sell buckets and things like that. So like the bucket that attaches to this, we have a few of them, is right there. There's an L140. That goes to a smaller unit. And then the bigger unit, I think, is, they're going through everything right now, so I apologize. We got one of those. It's probably in service. But if you notice, we got augers, we got anything you could possibly need. Breakers, augers, any attachment that could be needed on a piece of equipment, because we want to make sure that nothing stops us and nothing slows us down. Inventory of more equipment. So these are all new pieces. This is how we're starting to lay our pavers. So these are Unilift machines. So those larger format pavers that you saw next door, really exciting. They lift 308 pounds, and you literally can just operate this thing without lifting anything. So it really makes it easy for the guys to not feel like their backs are destroyed at the end of the day.
This is the one with the vacuum on it?
Yeah.
That sucks and then you see them. Okay.
And we have ones that connect to the actual dingos as well. So we have the same Unilift, the standalones, and then we have two that connect to dingos. So we can set them regardless of the situation. If we need a little more room, we can't boom these ones out, but these are great. The ones that connect to the 2000 was kind of funny. It's called the Mini P, and they didn't know if it would actually work on a telescopic boom. So I just bought it anyways, and it did work. I just didn't report it back right away. Wanted that little extra, if that makes any sense. So I do take some risks.
Bro, you must have a mechanic.
Oh yeah, we got 2 full-time mechanics. I mean, this truck's got 20,000 miles on it, and we're having to put new rotors on it. That's mind-boggling. that this truck is 2 years old and we need new rotors and pads, because just trucks, I mean, it doesn't matter if you have new or not. It's unbelievable. This truck, I believe, has 20,000 miles in it.
20,000 miles.
And we got to put new, all new rotors. I mean, it's unbelievable. How fast stuff. Over here, I'll turn the lights on. It's probably a good idea.
So you can turn the lights on. Oh.
Yeah, the guys definitely don't have to work in the dark. Should have done that in the beginning. This is where we keep all of our nuts and bolts, anything that you could possibly need to fix anything. We hired a company called Imperial, and Imperial essentially comes in and they make sure we have all of these things, and they come in and do a random audit, and then we get billed for what's missing, and then they fill them back up for us.
So you always have every single nut and bolt and washer and every little tool and everything that you guys could need at any time, right there.
Need it any time.
No running to the hardware store.
No, we do not want to run to the hardware store.
You have a hardware store on site.
Correct.
Bro.
Yeah, those are critical in my opinion. Our electric tile. Oh, those are the saws. So those are all the electric saws. These are my favorite. Nobody liked them at first, but now they love them. These little guys are just amazing too. So when you want to do like little baby cuts and you want to be able to get around and do all these different types of things. Why I like electric, and a lot of guys are starting to understand why electric works so much better, is it's constant power. Where our other ones over here, they're great, but you rev it and you always will hear the dun 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 dun. Well, every time it shakes, you're not going to get that smooth cut. So these are where we take all apart all of our saws and essentially build new saws out of old saws. We blow up tons of saws, and that gets frustrating as well. So the electric saws are good. Battery life is decent. So we're definitely starting to convert more into that. They're cheaper to operate at this point from what we see, along with we're getting a cleaner line.
Bro.
Those are our dustless. So those actually have vacuums. So what we do with those is you have a vacuum that sucks, so as soon as you're cutting, it sucks it into a bag, and then we have our silica that's just sucked into there, and then we recycle it.
Nice.
Yeah. And if you notice, you'll see box fans, only Mercedes. Trucks like this, you're gonna see only Chevys. Big trucks, you're only gonna see Volvos. Excavators, you're only gonna see Bobcats. Now, obviously with these, we're switching everything over to Case. New Holland and Case are the same company, like GMC and Chevy, but everything's being switched over to Case equipment. So the only thing we're going to be getting rid of next year is the Cat, or this year, and the New Holland, and then we'll have all Cases. There's a few of them at our other facility. These are the ones that still needed service, and then we're beginning to transfer anything that's completed over to the other building. Yeah.
Where's the John at, man? I gotta use the bathroom.
All right.
They still call it that?
Yes.
My dad called it. Where's your John at? Like, what?
John is definitely the workout facility in here.
There's a gym in here and locker room?
Yeah, gym and locker room. So this will be moved.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a little dusty, but trust me, there's guys that still use this gym and they like to lift weights.
Bro.
So, and then this is what I'll show you the other office, even though it's shut down. This is the sales office. Nobody's here. Again, a whiteboard.
How many square feet are these buildings?
They're each 9,900 square feet. 900 square feet of office and 9,000 square feet of warehouse. Small office, big warehouse.
Is this where the designs get done?
Dwayne designs here. Kenny designs old school. So yes, everything happens right here. A lot of magic happens right here. All the real pretty things that people see come from this guy.
Those beautiful 3D animations.
Todd's office, which is our mechanic. This is where he likes to
Oh wait,
punch it out.
you got the boss.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, nice. Ooh, look at that. All right, let's
This is nothing to see, but this is like where we got Todd, who's our mechanics, and he comes in here and he's always forcing. You need somebody that holds people accountable. So I think a big misinterpretation of a mechanic now is that they just wrench on stuff, and it truly isn't. A great mechanic will facilitate what's warranted, what's not, and hold people accountable if it is under warranty. And that's a whole job in itself, is facilitating what is out for warranty, what's going out, what replacement, negotiating. So Todd does a really good job on this end of making sure that we're getting what we paid for, and making sure that we're not paying for things that we shouldn't be paying for.
because it can get out of hand.
Gets out of hand fast. Yeah, there's not as much care over here, but that's most of the guys they're here in the wintertime and then they're gone in
Look at this printer.
in the summer.
You guys use that?
No, I gotta get rid of it. I was just gonna give it away.
Nice.
I can't figure out how to use it. I know it still works, but it's old too though. Yeah, Keith, once you see the other facility, it's
You got
unbelievable.
another facility.
Yeah, it's got like, I would say it's got at least 2, 3, 4 trucks there, 2, 3, 4 pieces, skid steers.
You're expanding.
Yeah, we're definitely expanding. It's been a slow
You're gonna open up
process.
a Florida location.
Honestly, we talked about Mexico. Talked about opening a rental company in Mexico because there's a huge gap in the market over there, and they rent junk equipment, and that junk equipment is expensive. So I've been talking to Luis and a couple guys about it. It's like, let's invest in that.
Bro, you probably I see cameras all over the place, man.
There's cameras everywhere. Never ever been broken into here. I do love Sterling Heights for that regard. Services are super fast. They protect us. So literally, we have never been broken into, but we also have cameras everywhere. I mean, literally on every building.
And I saw in your main office there's the screen with like.
And you flip, and the next page is on.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah, and then and then they're connected to the other building as well. So they're essentially one. You just flick it, and it'll show another one, and then you flick it again, and it's the Brickyard.
Smart.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm gonna get a nice shot of that flag up front in the front of the building.
And this is where all our
Yeah.
propane has to be, and gas. Yeah, look at this, dude. This is a year old. What a disaster. Unbelievable.
This is a year old.
This is 1 year old. Not even. This was bought and look at it. It's destroyed. That's why we stopped lettering. I didn't even have an opportunity. We had to put this in mid-season, and it's already wrecked. This one I think is, let me see. Yeah, this is maybe 2 years old. And I think this was our extra trailer. But this is how we'd like to letter them. So right now I'm trying to figure out how to do those trailers, which I think I'm gonna have to do a plate of some sort that I weld to the side to have it say we're the guys, because it doesn't have an opportunity to do that. But these trailers we have 6 of these now, and they're unbelievable. I mean, this is just crap. Let me see if it even opens. We probably have. Yeah, the problem is we spend so much time setting them up.
Let me go in there.
We spend so much time setting them up, and then they're trash. Yeah, it still smells new. It smells new, but it's definitely not. Once we use them, that's why we had to figure out there was not another option for us. I had to figure out what worked best, and we were going from $5,000–6,000 a trailer to $15,000 a trailer, and nothing worked until we got to that trailer here.
So you started getting those horse trailers?
Yeah, and
super heavy duty.
And we build them 12 inches on center, which is super cool. They don't normally come that way. They're 16 to 24. Again, Mercedes for the trucks because they get 24 miles to the gallon. Maintenance does a lot of driving. same vehicle. These get 500,000 to 750,000 miles. Best truck on the market, hands down by any. As a Q van, has more power and is twice the strength of anything on the market. So that's why we only buy Mercedes. We've been buying those for a long time when there were Sprinters from Dodge. So you look at this trailer, this thing's set up.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow.
And this is heavy duty. Totally different. I mean, even look at the floor. So they'll put the dingo, they pull the dingo in here. We're able to do just about anything in here. But look at, if you notice, we got all our glue, anything that we could possibly imagine, we have it. We want to make sure we have it. We got acid just in case. Every truck has gas, fuel, pre-mixed fuel, every tool that you could possibly imagine. Power tools.
Wow.
And they're all set up that way. That's the cool part, is we build these all out the same way. So no
cutter, copy paste.
Yeah, copy paste on every single one because we have the same equipment. So the build outs are all going to be the same. That's it.
This is kind of an odd question.
Yeah.
How does your wife deal with you and all this throughout the years, and all the blood, sweat, tears, and sacrifice, and attention, and sleepless nights to build something like this, man?
Patience. There's a lot of patience. She says my mind never stops, and I'm more than this company. But it's hard to say that because I've been doing this. I've owned this company since I've been 19. So this is the longest relationship I've ever had, and it's very difficult for me to separate this. Yeah, it is.
I look at what my wife has gone through just in my little landscaping and window cleaning business, and even helping me in the business, and what she knows the business inside and out, bro.
Yeah.
My wife.
And she knows you. He doesn't want to take quotes right now, or he's, you know, my wife has to do some crazy stuff. Like legitimately, it's like, I'm not doing estimates today. Why not? Because I don't want to. And she will literally just start moving things around for me if I'm not in a good place. And she loves me. You got to have somebody who supports you, and as long as her needs are being met, I believe that's the most important thing. But yeah, I'm sure your wife probably is like, enough, can we do something else besides talk about your businesses, right?
Yeah, well, I've learned a lot when I walk in the door. I don't talk about work much anymore. It's like, hey, we're at the dinner table. What's going on? It's like home now. But so here's the big question. When you're growing a business and you want to grow your business and go all in more, it could perceive like you're going deeper into it.
Yeah.
What about when you need that time for your own peace, or you have some type of thing that you go through something for 3 or 4 months, or depression, or maybe you just get totally burned out, or you just can't computate anything because you're so burned out, and you got all these people and all these bills relying on you? How do you grow through those things without it literally not taking your life? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's this business is very tough, and it's especially tough on men. I say that, and not that it's not tough on women, but I've watched a lot of really great men lose their life in this business just because it is such a demanding business. I feel like there's things that you have to start really, figuring out. Like maybe my lip starts twitching, and then something else happens, and then it's like, wait a second, I think I might be having an anxiety attack, or I think I might be going through something. So I think a lot of it is recognizing, all right, something's scaring me right now. I can't tell the difference between excitement and being scared. So why don't I just be quiet and just do my breathing, continue working. If I'm digging, whatever I'm doing, just do that and see how it feels in another hour. And then if it's something that you know you need to get away, I just left. I literally got back on Friday. I took my family to Tennessee in the mountains for 4 or 5 days because I needed that. I needed that
You
so
sent me
bad.
pictures. The Airbnb was nice. It's like a log cabin over
log cabin and
middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere, and our family got to reconnect. But it was really an honor to spend that type of time with them because we're all doing something, right? We're all doing something. But what are we doing and who are we doing it for? And I think that's the main question I think we all get lost on being busy every day is what are we doing it for? And for me, what I found the most success in is when I give it to the Lord. I give it to Him. I give Him the praise, the glory, everything that goes from the bottom to the top. When I'm in a valley and I'm getting crushed right now, and we'll talk about that in another time, but still giving Him praise because I know that something else is going to be revealed to me, and being humbled by Him along with humbling myself in front of my family, in front of my friends, in front of my enemies, that I'm no greater or better than anyone else, and I just want to be a servant. And anytime I'm in service, that really will take that discord you have with yourself where you feel like you're having a heart attack or what have you, and it almost flips it into a gratitude of like, I get to go to work, I get to see all these people, and I get to interact with them, and somehow I can impact their life every single day I show up. May not be that I impact them the first day, the second day, a year, 2 years, but I'm going to try to impact these people in a positive way that when I'm gone, that I leave them in a better
I was just
place.
checking my battery. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't want to lose that clip. So you get to be part of this.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off. It's just checking the battery's
No.
about to die.
I get to be a part of this. That's, I think the key is with all of our businesses is we get to go somewhere. There's so many people that would love to be in my position, even though my position does, it gets difficult and the decisions are higher staked, and sometimes I get overwhelmed and I feel like I can't breathe. I also know that burden that's put upon me, there are many people that want that burden put upon them as well, and they look at my life as something great. So I believe my life is great. I believe it's difficult, but I feel like you have to put your health in priority. Prioritize
This guy's
your
up
health.
every morning. He's got a trainer, goes to the gym, eats healthy,
every morning.
hydrates.
Hydrate. I get it. Drink. I wake up in the morning. I give you my fast routine. I wake up. I don't get out of bed. I slide out of bed. Slide right to my knees. I pray.
Hey, wait, check this out. The other night, I was on the phone with him, and I pulled out this little Bible. I have Bible studies, and I think he was putting his son to bed.
I have it.
Yeah, I gave him a copy of it because I have a bunch of them. Plusnothing.com, you can get a copy. And I read a story of speakerphone, and his son was there listening. You know, Mr. Keith is going to read a story, so I'm reading a story about Jesus. And at the end, his son starts going, oh, and the next story is when Jesus spoke to the Pharisees, and I'm like, this kid's like,
Yeah.
that's amazing. That I told that to my wife this morning. She goes, what? That's amazing.
Yeah. My
So,
son. That's how we raise our children too. Is God first. So we give our life to God. And anytime we're out of alignment as a family, and me being head of household, and that's truly a huge gift, is when you take back head of household. It doesn't mean you rule over your wife and you make her do things that you don't want to do. You just do them with her, but you're the leader of the house. So what you do as a man and a father is the most important thing, and it's going to have the most
It's called follow me as I follow Christ.
Exactly. And
But it might not work at first because this is
It doesn't. It doesn't.
At first, what's this whole new thing? This is
Yeah.
like, he's like, you don't understand, Steve. My wife doesn't play that.
My wife didn't play that, but it's unbelievable. The more I walk it out and she sees me in my faith, that now she's calling me closer. So when I'm out, she'll literally say to me, fear's got you, the devil's got you, why are you letting God, why don't you take it to God? And I'm stubborn and saying, no, I'm not taking it to God right now. So it's this pendulum effect. And I do think one more point,
Yeah.
and I think you know this, the most important thing you do is not building a business, building these things. The most important thing you can do in your life is pray to God that He gives you a woman that loves you for you and has your back no matter what, a woman that's loyal, honest, kind, and believes in you and loves in you the way that you should be loved on. Because I can tell you right now, without her, none of this would be possible. And most people I know that built a successful business have neglected that part of their life, and then they end up losing half or more, which they placed all the value on that stuff.
Yeah, they keep walking around saying me, my business, and I, me, and mine, my.
Yeah.
And the wife's standing there like,
well, how do you think you're able to operate this business while I ran the whole damn family? Right, exactly. I get to go to work. I get to go to work. So true when you said that too, because she's 100% right too. It's like, I do get to go to work, dude. You do get to go to work, especially when you got kids too, man. Those kids they're brutal when they're off track, and she's amazing. My wife is, you'll love my wife. She's good, just a good old school, it's so disciplined eater, disciplined in every single thing. She counts her macros. That's what she wants to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's all. I needed that.
Steve DeHunt, PMS, we're the guys, bro.
Thank you for coming.
Bro.
Dude, this is awesome.
We finally did this video. I'll put links in the description below to his stuff, man. This guy's awesome, plus our podcast. And let me know if you want more of this content. Peace.
25 years of service.